Hey harmonizers, welcome to this update video of S'mores. He's been doing super ridiculously awesome. And here's some footage of him with the saddle on for the first time going around. The only thing that's been kind of tricky for him to learn is his left lead canter. So oddly enough, he favors his right lead. So Allie's been learning how to ask and position a horse in the right way to ask for the correct lead when they're having trouble. So there are a few things that you have to keep in mind when doing things on the ground, like if you have tension on the rope and stuff like that, it's all gonna cause issues for the horse. So she's been working on being able to pick up the correct lead with little S'mores. He really has the most lovely laid back gaits. He's just, very smoothly trots around there. His canter isn't particularly fast, and he tends to go into a little bit of a natural slower jog. And like, look at that lope, it's just, naturally very slow. He's not in a hurry to get anywhere, and really really nice. Look at that, so slow, so balanced. And that's for just getting underway in training. That's probably, I think this video footage was taken maybe about a week into training, and he's already cantering that slowly and calmly on the line, which is great. So this is one of the strategies Allie was using to help her get the left lead, which is over top of a jump. And you can see S'mores ends up taking a little flying lead change coming off the jump to get that left canter lead. So there's lots of little tricks that you can use to help horses get correct leads. And then here's a little look at sitting on S'mores for the first time. So we try to keep things super uneventful at our farm when it comes to starting horses. We don't even want our horses to learn that bucking or rearing or bolting or any of those nasty things are even an option or even something that they need to think about doing. So we're just very rewarding, and we want it to make a really good deal for the horse and completely non-stressful. We don't want any of that negative energy or muscle tension becoming part of their memory or their negative associations. We want our horses to just be really relaxed and okay with everything that's going on. So then here's a little look at cantering a little bit later on. Allie working on getting that left lead canter. So still struggling with it a little bit, doing pretty good, and he seems to figured out the best just doing a flying lead change to get the correct lead. And then here's a look at me lunging S'mores. I just wanted to be able to get the timing a little bit better, and wanted to show Allie how you can kind of bring a horse's nose in and then give them slack in the line. And if you ask in the right moment, then you can get that correct lead without causing an issue. And your best opportunity to ask for the lead is actually coming as they're coming around a rail there. So you can see he's got the correct lead there. He started off as a cross canter and then figured out his lead. And then I want him to hold the canter for a little while so that way he understands like the muscle memory piece. He swapped leads briefly again just because he was pulling to the outside a little bit. But you can see he can hold that left lead no problem. He just had no clue what it was that we were asking him to do. So one of the things that I do to help test out a horse a little bit with their leads is now I'm going to send him out to the right and expect him to get the right canter lead. And then I want to be able to change directions again and get that left lead again to try to make sure we have some understanding going on there. So here's his right canter lead, and you can see it's very slow, balanced, not in a hurry. Yeah, he's going to make a super great kids pony or small adult pony, really relaxed and chill kind of guy. Pretty excited about him because I almost didn't end up buying him for a training project because he was so little. So I wasn't really sure if he was going to end up being too small, but I'm so happy that I did because he's such a nice horse and really deserves a great home. And so this start that we're giving him is going to help set him up for success and have a long, great future ahead of him. And he's so smart. Like, see how he figured that out real quick. He's on the left lead there, maintaining a full circle all the way around. Really smart guy. Figures things out really quickly. Broke to trot there for a second, picked it back up, got his flying lead change, and, easy peasy. So he made massive progress with his canter leads. And I like to get those sorted out pretty well on the ground before we do too much in the saddle. It just makes it a lot easier on them. And here is some footage of S'mores' first ride. So this is pretty exciting. So we do some mounting work at the block first before we actually ask our horses to go anywhere. And this is the first time asking him to actually move with a rider on his back. And the first thing we usually do is turning. And we don't like to use a lot of leg pressure on the first ride. We kind of introduce that to the horses over the first couple rides so that way it's not overwhelming and we don't provoke them to do anything scary or feel overwhelmed or get claustrophobic, because that's when the bad things can happen. And we're all about trying to get these horses to just be totally okay with the process the whole way around and not get to a place where they feel like they have to react in a big way, because we listen to them and we address all the small little issues that come up along the way. So we're just doing little turns, not kicking him, just using our voices to ask him to cue forward, as well as using the turn to help him move forward. And Allie waits for the steps forward, so how he just stumbled forward there, to get his reward, rather than when he's turning and pivoting backwards on the turn, she rewards him for stepping forward through the turn. So like there he kind of steps to the side, there he steps forward a step, and she's asking for a couple steps, so she's got to wait for another one. There was one step and then a shuffle step and then a back step. So she's asking for a couple steps here, adding a little bit more clucking, asking him to move forward. Going to kind of maintain and just open that rein and wait for him to figure out that he needs to step forward through the turns instead of backwards. So he's trying. He's like, okay, would you like backup? Like, what's going on? And so as long as he knows that we're just trying to get him to solve a puzzle, there's no reason to get upset. There's no reason for this ride to become super stressful or really upsetting. Oh, there's 1, 2. Oh, and then he did back up there, but she already had said the yes word, so he's still going to get his reward. So then fast forward to, I can't remember if this was ride 2 or 3, but they learn so fast. Once they figure out, how to go forward, and we've already got them kind of in that yes horse mentality. Yes horse meaning that you ask them to try and they're like, okay, yeah, I'll try. And keep in mind, he's done all of these obstacles on the ground, not necessarily within this session, but he's learned to go up and stand on different obstacles. So asking him to ride up on the obstacles, although sometimes that might seem like it's a more difficult task, for our horses, it actually gives them a bit more of a visual focus, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. You want me to go walk over there and stand up on that, because that totally makes sense, because we do that on the ground too. So even though he's only done like either 2 or 3 rides at this point, he is up and over in the mattress, and it's no big deal, because yeah, of course not. Why wouldn't we be doing that? Just a natural progression, and helps give a little bit of a purpose. So here's a little look at the 2 boys side by side in their saddles. I'll be doing a separate video for Helios, so that way you can see how he's been updating and coming along. But here's the 2 little men. We work them together most of the time just because I'm helping Allie with starting S'mores, but sometimes we do work them separately as well. And sometimes we'll start with one horse so they're by themselves for a bit. We'll bring in the other horse, and then we'll take the other horse away so they get practice leaving each other and handling that distraction, and that's going pretty well. So here is first trotting day, super exciting. This is still, I think, less than 5 rides. Maybe it's around ride 5 for doing his first trots. And remember, this is Allie's first time ever starting a horse under saddle, so this is very exciting. She says that S'mores is very, very smooth at the trot and is pretty lazy to get going. So this is a little look at in the very beginning how we ask. We use our verbal cue, and instead of doing big kicks with our legs, we do a little bit of rhythm with our legs, and you can see she's kind of flapping on her thigh a little bit. And that's because we're trying to use the same rhythm that we would use on the ground to ask them to move, so they can kind of translate that into the saddle and not be upset or panicked by that when we go to do it. Always trying to keep things super easy and chill and just good experiences for the horses. So at this point, he's never been caused to be fearful of people or been pushed to a point where he feels like he has to protect himself or something bad's going to happen. So he's getting a really, really great foundation here. So Little trot here going to the other end of the arena, just a little sit trot. And we'll practice doing both sit trot and posting trot. We want to make sure our horses are super comfortable, move it all around. And there will definitely be more work happening here, but that was his first trots ever. So that was super exciting. And he even got to take Evelyn for a little pony ride, which is very exciting. He just did a little walk. He's so chill, he's so calm. And so I thought, well, if I've got, a helper leading him, and then we can practice having little Evelyn up there. It's good for Evelyn to practice going with the flow. And he was super awesome. He didn't care about me holding something over above him. And of course, I don't let go of Evelyn the whole time. And she didn't enjoy her pony ride all that much. She had to get off partway through. So, but he didn't mind that she started crying. And of course, some snuggles to finish with at the end. So we're finally getting some nicer weather, and these boys are doing fantastic. Let me know what you think of little S'mores, what he would be well suited to. Thanks for watching, guys.